while I fix this. Sorry for the weird angle. That's me on the camera. So I'm trying to relax again and just do my thing. Just give me a minute, please. Pretend that this video doesn't start till later. Henry, stop. I cannot move the camera high enough out of the way to get him uninterested. Okay. I don't know which spirit guide it is. I don't know who wants me to be talking about this. But yesterday I saw a video from a channel I've never seen before called Library or something. Oh my god. Oh, 6:38 p.m. September 27th, 2023. All day today, there's been a sense of heaviness in the air outside in nature. Like it's been storming and raining, and it's been beautiful. But it's been kind of like the seasonal change storms, it's like it goes from summer weather to winter to fall weather. Anyway, so I was sitting here, I just got done doing a whole bunch of tidying up. And I'm like, I'm gonna relax. I just feel tired. Cat scratched me by accident because he loves biting. That's what that is. So I sat down here after all the video. This is going to be scattered and erratic, okay? This isn't scripted. This isn't anything of that sort. This isn't channel. This isn't anybody. This is just me sitting here trying to chill out because it's been a really quietly chaotic day with like a heavy storm cloud around. But it's not around me. It's around everyone else. It's really weird. The guide comment I made. Every time I sit down to like beeswax and try to heal the cat scratches and stuff, one of my guides, I don't really know who she is. I mean, I kind of do. It's kind of like a group of them. Very old, like classy spirit energies. I don't, maybe they're like global guides or something. Like I tune into them when I'm doing this. And I was sitting here having a conversation with them. And one of them's like, turn the camera on and talk this up. I'm like, okay. So here we are again. I'm not like, I've noticed we've done this a few times and it feels like something, one of these energies, maybe it's my mediumship abilities. I don't really know much about. She feels like an old actress, like old timey actress. And it's like she used to talk to herself doing this, and I've been feeling that energy of that person, that those group of celebrities from like hundreds of 100 years ago almost. And that energy was, I was connected with it yesterday with them while watching that video from Library of the whatever, some video about Sophia. And they showed the wheel, the Samsara wheel, and how it's being held by a demon. And then the entire time I'm being told or read a book regarding the Aeons and the Archons. And then I was shown the videos I was doing before, or another version of me was doing with the Aeons and Archons um, series. Sorry. And sorry, creaky chair. I was shown a lot of stuff, and I'm not supposed to talk to you about all of it, but I'm supposed to talk to you about some of it because I've been trying to figure something out, and I can't figure it out unless I'm talking it out. This specific thing. So all these things are tying in together. Okay. Now, mind you, the person from that channel, the library that I keep wanting to call of like Alexandria because I feel displaced in time. I don't know how I know these people. A lot of you watching this channel, which hasn't really had real content on it, like the Star Kindler, it's just been kind of my thing where I just do weird shit. But I only do it because I keep getting these messages. These I can't even describe them as anything supernatural, psychical, bio, biological, physiological. I can't. It's something that's like a bigger aspect of me becomes me. And then the me that's here 24/7, 23/7, I guess, isn't there. It's like a memory. While I'm doing those videos where I'm channeling and I have the cards and I'm giving you insights, and it's like you're talking to some ancient, goddess. That's like the big, well, I don't even know what that is. Right now, I'm doing everything I can, mostly to block off opening that channel stream. Like, I'm really, really, really trying to just be myself, like me, born and raised on this planet. I have no fucking idea what's going on, etc. Because I genuinely don't. But that other energy does. So when I'm channeling, I don't know. Like I've done over 1,000 videos. I could tell you maybe one video worth of information. I remember uploading a video about drones and dog barking while I was still living with my parents. I remember some videos with Lily. And then I remember a ton of cards. But I have an entire movie playing of what's been going on. And I have no idea where I fit into anything. It's like I'm watching 20 different TV screens and they're all going on. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know. So I was watching that video. And that other big source self energy was like, hey. And I'm like, nope. And it was like, hey. And I'm like, nope. And then all the guides, all the energies, I started seeing the rainbows. And I'm like, fucking fuck. So I saw what the video was saying was like playing in the background. I wasn't even paying attention. What I was seeing was a whole other video inside being played. And I was seeing it from the point of view of each person being shown to me, but also a superimposed third person point of view, but being shown with the Aeon Sophia. But while I was seeing her, she was like shifting in and out like sand and water into a whole bunch of different goddesses. And I'm like, and then I was a baby and a grown up and a baby and a grown up over and over and over and over. And in between, a whole bunch of different names. And I was like, And what she was showing me was that wheel of samsara and being held by a demon. And I'm like, okay. Then I saw the Aeon Sophia hide a baby, and I was like she was hiding it. She was ashamed of it. I'm like, seems like a soap opera. And she was hiding it from her dad, or maybe it was her husband. I don't know. Like the story keeps like shifting like sand and water. And then I was seeing it from her eyes, putting the baby into this like dark water. Sorry, he's like trying to go in here again. Hold on. There you go, buddy. He won't let me move his pillow. Then I saw it from the Holy Spirit's like angle. Like it was weird. Beautiful but weird. And how there was also another energy, a very masculine energy that was a like but the Sophia, the Aeon, the other one, the other girl, was like a daughter or a Henry stop or a clone, a daughter. It looked like the guy was sitting there meditating out in astral projection, and then that one became that being. But he was doing it to a whole bunch of like he was emanating a bunch of different visages, avatars. I don't know. That then it went to the baby that was put into the dark water, and then that baby turns around and doesn't know that there's a behind it. Can't see nothing. It's all dark water. And then suddenly there's like this entire ring of light around it, like being held in a bubble. And then there was the reflection of the mother looking at it. And then I saw it in the way I had of a dream I had. I think. I'm not going to tell you the dream, but Mother Mary was involved and a dragon and a baby. And I was like, ugh. And then that baby, as it's in this dark water, is creating this fantasy in its own head because it can't see anything. All it sees is its own imagination. It's like being stuck in a sensory deprivation chamber, and all you can see is what your mind shows you. And then it started for doing what the being that was emanating was doing. And then it made another Sophia. The same way it saw the reflection of the water, it made the other one. And then it treated it like its daughter, kind of, because it's technically its mother. But then the roles switched. And then the second Sophia became mother to a bunch of the other things that were going on there. It was like a cycle that kept repeating. And the thing that held the wheel was one of the things that the second Sophia was, or the baby made. It was in that whole area, in that sphere, which can't be destroyed or anything. Like if they were showing me it's another part of it, like an actual thing in this big bubble sheet of things. And then it flipped. And then it flipped again. And then it kept flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping. So I don't know what else I'm supposed to tell you about that. Because the way I was shown it was from a very human point of view of like a family curse or like a whatever generational curse you guys talk about. And I'm still processing how I felt it from all of their points of view, as if I like lived it in all of them, or like I experienced it with them. It was weird, or I was them, but all of them. And I was like, this is weird. And then it zoomed in, the vision they were showing me of the wheel, like the Samsara wheel, and the wheel of time, the wheel of fortune, the wheel, whatever. A whole bunch of wheels, in wheels, on wheels, on wheels. I'm like, what the fudge? And then it showed one spot that was the same. Sorry, like the black and white and the yin yang. It's entered are so annoying sometimes. In the black and white dots in each yin yang. Okay, they showed me a little like slice that was like looking at the top of a city from like a spaceship. And it was a wheel, like a navigation wheel, and each little thing was marked with a zodiac and then something else, but all the zodiacs were different. And in each side, they had a different version of it, but it was an inverted version of the other one. So in the dark spot where there's the white spot, there was a ring of black and white beings that were transferring and transmitting energy to the black spots, the dark spot of the yin yang. In the light spot of the yin yang, there was the dark circle, so like a demon in heaven, and there's a bunch of weird half demon, half angel beings transmitting the energy to the people of heaven. I'm like, well, what the fuck? So then I got shown this city and a bunch of people and a bunch of archon looking beings, just humanoid life forms of various types. And I was like, that looks like an episode of He-Man or Thundercats. What the fuck is this? And while they're showing me this, I saw the first Aeon Sophia, like the one from all the way up there, the father's daughter, right? And she blooped something all the way down this wheel, this little sparkle, and it flopped right into one of those cityscapes on either side. And then it flipped again. And I was like, what the hell? Is this a sparkler? Like, I'm seeing all this while I'm trying to pay attention to a video. So, mind you, it was like picture in picture while I'm sitting in this room. It's so weird. That little spark that she sent down, that split into two other sparks. He's like just lounging all over the keyboard. I don't know what buttons he's pushing. I hope this is still recording. Those little sparks were messing with some of the humanoid beings that liked it dark. But it was also lighting up other beings who were stuck in the dark that didn't belong. So there was this whole thing of like, which side of the yin yang is what? Because it was also going on in the heavenly side. There were people in the love and light part of the yin yang that were really not supposed to be there. And then the little spark that went there was actually the spark that was sparking the bad ones, like the bad ones in heaven that shouldn't have been there, to like show themselves kind of thing. I was like, that's weird. And then they showed me like threads that were connected to a bunch of people everywhere, and how some threads are really nasty and some threads are really good. I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay, that makes more sense now. And then, sorry, I'm skipping over the stuff I can't tell you. Not that it's like really relevant, fast fast forward to me, like me being shown to me, but not me. It's kind of like, I don't know, clones. I don't fucking know. It was like echoes, mirages. But it wasn't just me. It was a whole bunch of other people who had echoes and mirages. It was weird. Then it's kind of like, how do I even explain this? It's kind of like order and chaos have been reversed. Like those little lights, lighting up the other lights and the little other shadow people, beings, whatever. The balance. Sorry about the chair. I don't fucking care anymore what you think it is. It's the chair. So we were supposed to like, the part I skipped over was the violence being committed in the wheel of Samsara in those parts of the zodiac. Okay, how some signs are more prone to it, how some aren't, how some people are being influenced by entities in certain spots, and some people are influenced by other beings, how humanoid beings influence each other, and then how disease and decay and all that stuff happens, and blah, blah, a whole bunch of stuff. But I noticed when I was shown all the echoes and copies and people and the NPCs, I guess, it was like the light side was trying to drown out the shadows. The shadows were trying to drown out the light. And then there's an in between that's trying to keep a balance of the two. But they're all fighting because their roles have been reversed in the first place. It was weird. Because then the video said something in the background about how Aeons or Archons feed off suffering and there's beings who feed off good energy. And I'm like, Sarah McLachlan has a song that says, um, something, I think it's called Building a Mystery, about a god that feeds off fear. And I was like, wait a minute. And then there's the humanoids that are more of the scaly form or whatever, and those entities and things that feed off of suffering and fear and anger and lust and all these of different emotions. Okay, there's also ones that feed off the good stuff. You can't push one group away without imbalancing the entire thing and creating a, I don't know if this is the right word, I don't know what it means, dichotomy, a paradox, a conflict of interest between the two to where it creates a war. And that war only exists in the people that are being manipulated to create that energy. And I'm like, okay, but everybody kind of like notices it's a cycle of life, isn't it? Like everything feeds off something. And then I was showing a video to where someone that looks like me or was me was saying how animals only commit violence because the human mind commits it. It's like in the field. But it's only in that field and in the human mind because those entities that need that vibration to eat need it to eat. Then it was like a stop and then zoomed forward like trillions of years to where there's an entire system of like how each vibration feeds off what it needs to in harmony with the others. And it's like a well oiled machine, but it's organic. Like it's common sense, like society functions, everybody functions, etc. And I'm like, what is this even? And then it zooms back to like the city streets and people beating each other with sticks, riots and bombs and all sorts of weird shit, and then volcanoes and earth changes and the earth screaming. And I'm like, why though? Because they need to eat. And I thought, well, why doesn't the Most High, the source of creation everywhere, just alter this so that they don't feed off those vibrations? And it was like I was shown an entire version of reality without suffering, without pain, without sadness, without sorrow, without guilt, without shame, without regret. Where like there's no violence, there's no fighting, there's no, expression of negativity anywhere. Even the expression of positivity went away. It was just all neutral. Now it's like, what is that? That being was kind of like purgatory. Without the yin yang, everything's in a constant no thickness. And then it breaks into that yin yang, and then the full spectrum of all the colors. But each color is trying to like take the other one, and then inadvertently they're destroying each other. But without doing that, they're the entire thing falls apart. So it's like a weird fine-tuned balance of how much bad is allowed and how much good is allowed. And I was like, this is so messed up. It is just so messed up. So today, that was last night, and it's like beyond vivid in my head still. Today, I'm sitting here thinking, I've been on YouTube apparently all these years, and I've been trying to inadvertently, like, I've been shining light on stuff that I really don't give a fuck about. Like, I don't care. This isn't my fight. This isn't my world in that way. This isn't like, I don't care what you're doing. It has nothing to do with me. But that bigger me, anytime, the videos need to be made, it's like something that I have absolutely no relevance to with life whatsoever. So it's like I'm living two lives in one life, two genders in one body, and two versions. One which is super psychic and like all these other weird, supernatural things in life, connected to all these beings and gets visions and stuff. And then the other version of me just sits here every day with this cat or a video game and just chilling out. And that other version, the big me, is only really around for like an hour a day in those videos. And I was being kind of shown how a lot of people are only knowing that me. And I was like, so fucked up. Like, no wonder like these people have been the way they've been to me. It's so strange. And then I was shown like the past of my life, and how most of my life has seemed like I've been in a secret mental hospital of some kind in a bunker. But at the same time, when I was having that thought during meditation, I was shown Sophia, the big Aeon, and those little sparks, and how the humanoids were all working together, but not really showing them working together. It was so weird, you guys. It was like the in between line of black and white and the small gray line in between. And I was shown like all three sides. I'm like, this is pointless in the grand scheme of things, especially if like there's so many illusions and lies being formed about everybody and nobody really sees who anybody else is. And then I was shown the Vedic and tropical charts, and how the tropical chart is like like a lens where the sunlight shines through the lens, and it's spreading a stained glass window color on humanity that's suited to a superimposed ego personality that they have, that they made, and they require to live in the world where they're having to balance the light and dark of themselves. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then the Vedic stuff was for the actual placement of where their feet touched the ground. That's where the light shone, and their feet were sparkly and rainbowy. And I was like, okay, so whatever. Big Me is trying to like really badly, give you the what is someone call it a goddess footprint. Like, no, I'm not doing that right now. Please and thank you. 30 minutes. Oh my God, she's look, I don't know what I do. I don't know how I do these things I do. I'm trying to be as honest as I can with you right now and as transparent and just me. Okay. I've been really honest about a lot of stuff in my life, but I'm noticing a lot of the stuff I'm saying gets interwoven with channeled messages, and it's really annoying. And then the way I express the messages are in branches, which is also really annoying. And when I think about that, which I have during these meditations, I keep being shown the Tree of Life and Sophia on either side, relaying messages from Big Sophia to Little Sophia. And then I'm like kind of on the distance, on the sideline over there, with a bunch of like archons and aeons and humanoids and different beings. And I'm kind of just like this, being kept like this. But inside that is an illusion that I have a life or freedom or like I can go out for a walk. And nobody seems to realize that or comprehend that. And then the cognitive dissonance of my own life to where I'm kind of like, this internet stuff isn't really real, is it? Like, it's not like this is just a girl interrupted type of thing where I'm just talking to a therapist, right? Because I can't comprehend her life plan for sanity itself. How the little kid I've been growing up, that that person I was in 1980, supposedly, on November, supposedly, has lived 42 years and still people only see what they want to see. I've never had a friend that's been a genuine, like an actual friend. I've never been allowed to have a job that's an actual job. It's always been like I've been kind of watched, controlled, maneuvered, manipulated. I mean, how many countries have I lived in? A lot. This is the first time I've ever been at a place where I get to just stay in the house and not go anywhere. And nobody cares. But every time I open YouTube, well, that can't be, they're not talking about me, right? And then when I make a video, it's like there's this whole other reality going on that all these souls are involved in, all these consciousnesses, and all these star seeds and shamans and witches, and, gangs and cults and organizations and governments and all this stuff. And I'm like, what does this have to do with me? So that blurred line has been kind of being faded to where I'm like, I see, okay. Because I'm noticing even the big me has been trying to create peace, maintain peace, you know, to do the right thing, to get everybody to do the right thing because it's so easy. But that would be like genocide to other vibrations that deserve to exist. Then I'm sitting sharing a meal with Henry we sit and eat together because we're freaking sad. And he was trying to eat the spaghetti I had made. And I was like, no, you can't eat that. That has tomatoes and onions in it. You know, you eat your food, I'll eat mine, but we can still sit at the same table. I don't have to feed you what I feed you, and I don't have to eat what you're eating. And then I remembered that entire wheel again, and I was like, oh my God, epiphany. Like, I think I've come across in a really fucked up way on purpose because some bigger cosmically aligned version of me, some other reality dimension, I don't fucking know, has been doing something that I've been completely kept unaware of. I've only seen Polaroid picture snapshots in my mind of even my memories from yesterday. I don't remember memories like a movie. I remember visions like a movie. So you guys do what you do. I'm not gonna do what I was doing. Because even if you were face to face with me, I have no problem with any of you globally, except child molesters and pedophiles. I really have a problem with those people. And people who like torture and do stuff to other people like that. Like, no, we got problems with those. But even those people, they're just feeding an entity, so it's not the people's fault. Do you see how convoluted life is in this part of the wheel? So I've been shown this like fine thread that's going through all of it. And it all revolves around people like you and me putting down, not fighting, not weapons, not defending ourselves, not like, no, just do what you're, whatever. But for just a little bit, take a step back and just be like, okay, um, now what? I don't know, but I know not what was because there's also been other energies I've been channeling over the years from people who have been, I guess it's a real thing, like psychically attacking and doing weird dark shit. I don't know. I don't deal with that stuff. I really, I'm so like naive to the darkness in people and what they're capable of. I really am. Like I'm not street smart whatsoever. I don't see the you know how I see sometimes probabilities and things like that on a really macro scale and micro scale? I don't see that for myself. Like I see one step ahead for me. But the other me, the big me, that like source connected me, the one that channels earth energies and all that stuff, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Why have I been doing all these videos? I thought it would help people not be so angry at each other, you know? Oh, what else? His contacts are so dry. Oh my God, they're probably wiggling all over my eyes. Oh, right, the entities. I don't know how this world works. I don't know. I'm not from here. Like, even if I'm born and raised here and like salt of the earth type of people, which is what my memory, like my train of thought, my memory, my history tells me. Like, I was born in the Middle East, moved to Germany, and then in Chicago, and then a few random places. But just always been with the same family. Everything's been okay except for when I get paranoid, scared. But then there's this other, and then the people energy, the empathicness, the telepathy, all this other stuff that I'm not aware of fully. And then manifestation and the law of attraction, all this other stuff. I don't do shit. So I don't get it. Even the gods and the goddesses, like all the things I see and feel and I get shown, part of me still like, it's kind of just my imagination, right? Like everyone's just living these normal day to day lives and they're all fine. And I've just had this ridiculous fantasy story in my head because of some trauma in some other dimension, right? And I'm just dreaming this. And it's just a dream where I'm processing trauma, right? Like this isn't real, but it kind of is. And then there's that cognitive dissonance. And then tuning into that and going through with that, through the wheel, there's other aspects to where a lot of people are going through this, but on the flip side of the spectrum. Remember when I told you how the Most High, the Unfathomable, the Great Father made the emanations, and then the emanations made emanations? Well, it's kind of like cognitive dissonance, doing something, creating more cognitive dissonance. But on the other side of it is complete lucid, cognitive awareness and harmony. But that's also based on a distortion from this side. So it's kind of like cognitively aware of something that's a mirage. Because the cognitive dissonance that exists in the first place is based on something that was a lie. It's like the mind trying to unravel something that's a trick question, a lie. And then there's entities that feed off that confusion, discord, and then that forms into disease in the body, which then forms as food for entities because it creates a different form of suffering. 43 minutes I've been telling you this. Do you see how this has gone on and on and on in a wheel, trying to figure it out, trying to explain it, trying to see it from every point of view, from NPC to starseed to regular human being to an Aeon to an Archon to the Most High, the Holy Spirit, and the Mother of Creation, etc., and the quantum field. Okay, then and knowing myself, knowing who I am, but not knowing that who I am to you is someone you already know in some way. That you had some history with. I remember my mom and my immediate family, but The rest of the stuff is kind of like a blur. It's very weird because it's all still there somewhere, but it's kind of like behind a door. And anytime I try to open that door, the guides and everybody goes, "Nope, don't scratch that wall." And I'm like, so I don't. So I don't know what's going on. But when I tell you these things, you guys know more than I do about certain things, which then, based on what you know of me or the other me's, you come up with your own conclusions, which are based off of cognitive dissonance to begin with and trauma programming globally, not just to me, because it's been that way and there's no real logical way to not make it that way until everybody tries to communicate in a form of diplomatic meeting of dark and light with like mediators in between to be like, okay, so you guys need suffering energy, but human being suffering doesn't really do much good. So how can they get suffering energy without causing actual suffering or causing suffering that's just detrimental to the growth of the soul? You know, there's so many different ways people can go through that. You know, break a vase that meant something to you. You could, you know, people's favorite tree falls over or something, or like a goldfish or something. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways people experience that pain. So I don't know how to tell you any of it. I don't know how to fix any of it. What I do know is back to the black and white part of the yin yang, flipping and flopping. What we're doing here as human beings, as humanoid beings, no matter where any of us are on this weird kind of whatever this is, whether it's life, a dream, a mind fuck, I don't know, I don't care. There has to be a way, there has to be a way to kind of, in a sense, maybe just a little, do things that are more in line or do things in a way that are more in line to who you really are, you know? So I'm looking at this fairy statue, and I've had this for so long. Sometimes I think about the person who bought it for me. I mean, I haven't seen him in like 20 years. Weird. Anyway, those energies I pick up on that I channel, not just my big self, but also different people I've dreamt about, different people I see, different people I have nothing to do with that I get told to talk about, different people that watch me that I don't know about that need to hear something. These people think that I'm like I know you. I don't fucking know you. I don't. I don't spend any time of my day other than when I'm clicking record involved in any of this stuff. And even then, I don't remember most of it. It's not a mental thing, it's channeling. So, those energies, those people, you guys, there's a lot going on in your lives that there's no way I could try to fix it because there's so many people that are involved in so many entities. I can't. But I also can't do nothing. So, what I was asked to do, and I guess the reason why this is being posted, is to ask you all to take a step back from who you think you are and really look at who you are. Is what you're doing really what you want to be doing? And I don't mean in a career way, I mean in a day to day way. I've been doing so many things that have been giving me a result I don't like, but they keep being done. And it's like a few days ago when I felt that earth thing, it's like something changed globally. And I was like, I don't even want to be involved in any of that. Why are those people even, involving me? Look, I wouldn't even, I'd rather go work at the Dollar Tree. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. And then this whole YouTube thing about flipping cards, like, it's not my career. I don't get paid for it. I just like flipping cards. The messages that come through, ugh, but those energies are valid, you know? So I've been looking over some of this stuff and I'm like, that's just who they are. That's just who these people are. From politicians to whatever else, whether they're being manipulated by entities or not, it's just who they are. From my, immediate family to friends and acquaintances I've had, it's just who they are. And no matter how much I try to influence my reality to create more peace and harmony, not just for me, but everybody else, it seems to have had a very not as intended effect. So I don't know. People won't change unless they want to. And I can't tell you enough stories or write you enough books or, suffer enough to bleed enough wisdom for you. That thing inside of everybody is an entity because it's connected to a different vibration that you have emitting from you, that I have emitting from me. And it's up to us. Are we going to keep feeding that entity or not? So, you guys that are trying to do light work, you call yourselves light workers, whatever, you all have your own missions, right? It's kind of like a nurse or an ambulance driver or a policeman or a lawyer or different categories of lawyers. They all have their own speciality. But so do the ninjas, the assassins, the mafia, people, and the military drill sergeants. And there's like this, even Saturn and Jupiter are completely different energies and vibrations. Earth and all that other stuff, different vibrations. When we point a light to things, we become the enemy. When we give the wisdom that we earned through what we went through to others, they don't earn the integrity of that wisdom. So their foundations become faulty. When we try to make it easy for others, it takes away their creativity. When we make things difficult for others, some break when all they needed was love. And then we become the enemy. When we give too much love to where some people explode discipline, too much enabling when they need a little bit of like an addiction of a different kind. Be addicted to a certain kind of fruit, but the fruit isn't at the supermarket. And it's not at the supermarket because of a domino chain of effects that have gone on for millennia. There's nothing one can do to fix this at all. There's nothing I, born and raised, or whatever, William or whatever, can physically do, say or feel or suffer for you, the individual, to change your way of life. 2,000 years ago, somebody showed up and was terribly. And 2,000 years, the wars and violence still have gone on. Some even in his name. A lot in that name. A lot of them. In a lot of people's names, especially. All for the call for divine sanction and favor, both for the light and for the dark. But the dark, they're most high. If we use the Aeonic kind of tree of life, whatever, their God is Sophia's son. Whereas the other side of the yin yang, the light side, the white side, their God is the one who emanated the Aeons. Kind of. But they also have a whole bunch of other gods. They also have layers of whatever. Like there's layers of reality up and down, different dimensions, etc. Each of them having their own gods and their own version of the Most High. But the source of all of it is the one mind, the one being that emanated all of it. But it emanated a whole bunch of other gods and goddesses. So everyone's right and everyone's wrong, myself included. So what kind of light work is anybody doing? And the people who are in the shadows causing trouble for other people to strengthen them up. Who are you really helping? Because for people like me, I've never had a friend. I've never been held by a mother in her arms. I've never been coddled by a father. I've never been told good job by any parent. I've never, ever been called beautiful other than through text on a screen, like on a Facebook something or an Instagram something or a YouTube something. That's it. I think I had one ex-boyfriend who called me beautiful when I was 27. Like I don't care. I've never really been kissed by anybody that loves me. Genuinely. I've never made more than $1,000 a month ever. And that's right now on disability, Social Security disability. Even when I worked for Ulta Cosmetics, I was making 200 every 2 weeks. Like I've never been allowed to have a career or a job by forces. So I don't know how the fuck your world works. And me coming in here from the light side or the dark side or whatever, both sides in between, seeing all of this happen, I can't tell either side what or how to do any of it. Because people in the darker part of the samsara wheel, where there's guns and all this sorts of shady deals, it's only kind of like that because the light part has been mingling in that part, and they're trying to, you know, work around the bosses that are in that area. It's kind of like the dark trying to work around the light, but the light's not where it's supposed to be. It's weird. And then in the light side, it's kind of like the love and light group can't really keep doing love and light because they're busy revealing the stuff done in the dark. That shouldn't even be done in the dark because the shadow and the dark part of the light part, or the yin yang, is in one dot. So why is the rest of the light and love worker group like doing anything? That's supposed to be the job of the source, maintaining that balance right there. What they're supposed to be doing is benefiting the collective, the grand force of life, to perpetuate life. And then the other ones do whatever they do to balance things out. But they're doing it to the wrong groups, which is just causing more suffering. It's kind of like treating me like crap because thinking that it's going to make me tougher or transmute something. But being kind to me would have infinitely a larger effect. But it's been justifiably like done so by people to treat me like shit and abuse me because they want to feed off that energy. There was never an intention so far in my life to actually be kind to me from nearly anybody unless it was an obligation. And I say that with the most humility and humbleness to the people I've known in my life because it's never really felt like I was important to anybody. I was always extra. You know, just go sit off in the corner, don't get in anybody's way. And anytime I ever even tried to stand up for myself or, you know, feel nice, I was knocked down in every which way. You know, my genetics being cursed verbally by people, being told how ugly I am constantly, being told how terrible I am, how I'm involved in so much that I shouldn't be, and how I'm gonna get myself killed someday, and you know, my life is worthless, and I'm worthless, and that I'm so etc. and evil, and God abandoned me, and that I'm the the ugliest person in existence, and that people would be better off without me anywhere, and I'm just no good other than a sacrifice and a scapegoat. This is stuff I've been hearing my entire life. Nobody in my life tells me anything nice. So when people are doing that weird shit and they're like being really unkind, I'm like, I know. And they're like, oh, you're so strong, but you're not doing anything. Like, what are you doing? It's just kind of, my uncles did worse than you did. Like, but if they wanted to maintain that kind of yin yang while still doing those things in the dark, right? It would actually be doing like dark magic for like money magic, beauty magic, etc. That would be like beneficial spells. Because even if I was like cursed with poverty, I'd still have to be paid more money to be below the poverty line. Because right now, I'm technically not even on the category, like a tax bracket of people with poverty. Like, I'm so far below the poverty line legally that I'm not listed. Like, the bracket I'm in is listed. We're just elderly and disabled people. So, do you comprehend that? It's kind of like me going to a supermodel that's been constantly told she's beautiful and me saying, you're so beautiful. She's like, okay, so. But if someone told her, like, oh, you're so ugly, you're so this, so that, she'd probably like have a fit and go eat a pound of ice cream, like those movies. The whole point of this is please take a step back and recognize that there's certain things you don't know about a lot of people, just like there's certain things I don't know about a lot of people. So I can't give you advice on how to help your life because I don't know how this world works. The world I was from and that I remember was not like this because I'm pretty sure I was dead. And the childhood I grew up in and with has been a very boring, quiet life to where I've just been extra in everybody's way. So I can't tell you what to do. I don't know any of it. I can just give you my point of view for being this protected little extra obligation to everybody in the corner, just kind of dumped away in a retirement home from when I was 37 in this place. And if nobody calls to check on me, nobody comes to see if I'm alive or dead. I don't like. So, who is it you guys are looking at? Because all of the stuff that's going on globally and what people are hiding from me and the big me that feels knows these things, that knows what's going on, and spirit guides and all these other things. They still don't tell me what the fuck's going on, and it makes no sense to me. So I'm telling you this again because I'm asking you to take a step back from who you think you are and look at yourself from other points of view. Look at your sense of demons, angels, what people are doing that's good or bad. Because there's some shit my uncles used to do that, like some of the way they would talk to people with like sarcastic, dry, sense of humor, that if people did that in a Denny's, people would be so offended. They'd be so offended. But my uncle, like, he would have a nickname for my sister, calling her a monkey's butt. And to this day, sometimes like I overhear them when I'm over there once a month, if even that. And he calls on the phone and talks to her, and he's like, "Hey, monkey butt." It's been like 30 some years, and they've had that insult. But if they hear it out in public, oh no, terrible. And there's stuff like that you guys have. There's stuff like that I have. But then there's also this entire thing going on globally, in the dark and the light, in these organizations, these cults and covens. I don't have anything to do with any of it. Like, honestly, I don't know shit about shit. And I'm noticing the more I'm trying to make anything happen on YouTube, the more it's kind of like people are assuming I'm coming for their spot. And I'm like, bro, I'm just literally flipping cars and trying to find one track of vibration that I can ride that isn't theirs and it's mine and it doesn't get influenced by that. And every time I try to do those videos, these people's energy starts showing up. And then when I tell them to read them, they think I'm attacking them. Like I'm reading your shadow energy. You guys don't realize this. But I don't even realize it. So how could you? Because I realize it after the fact. Do you see how convoluted it's getting? Trying to explain these fine little threads between what people do, why they do it, and who they're doing it to, and how it's benefiting these entities and not actually the family of people on this planet. How we're just kind of being fed off of energetically. And I'm not trying to destroy the entities, and I'm not trying to get you guys to fight the entities. I'm trying to tell you, you're going to feed them either way. So why not kind of balance what you're feeding those entities with more kindness for the better entities and less bad stuff? But then again, remember, the bad stuff some of you guys are doing is completely irrelevant to some of the ones in the light. It's like just 1,000 I love you comments on a page. After a point, it's just like, who cares? You know? After a certain amount of pain, it's kind of like, who the fuck cares? I get more hurt in a way when people are like, "Oh, you're so pretty." I'm like, "Are you being mean? Are you insulting me? Like, what's wrong with me? Why'd you say that?" It's fucking hilarious to me because I don't feel that way. I keep being brought back to this point. I don't want to keep talking about this. I'm trying to sidestep it. I'm like, no. I really think both the light and the dark, if we all just sit down for just a moment and realize that we're all experiencing the third density because of a deal with angels and demons, matter and spirit, and that we have to respect both without imbalancing either one. And what we choose grows. So if we're choosing to constantly hate me and love me, or yourself, a friend, celebrity, you're feeding that energy. And then the world kind of, to me at least, on what I see from these places, it's like the world's kind of going bonkers. These people are just feeding the negative stuff. And the negative stuff has got them so hungry because it's like a stomach that's expanded because you fed it so much that it keeps wanting more suffering. You know what happened the last time this happened, right? It was 2,000 years ago, where humanity got into such a point where the only way they were going to chill out was by having that itch scratched. And I'm telling you, it ain't going to solve nothing. Like, it won't solve anything. Having another kind of martyr or a savior thing or a complex of any kind, it won't solve anything. Because the problem is what and how people are choosing to feel, think, and do. No matter if you choose good or bad, it will always exist. But your life will be better if you choose better for yourself and others. You have magic power. Why don't you start blessing people? Use dark magic, but use it to bless people. Ooh, I hate that bitch. I hope she has so much fucking money that she doesn't know what to do with it. It drives her bonkers every day. It's going to be weird for a while until you can divert that flow that's been going from those chords that I saw, the wheel, the zodiac, the samsara, that are blending into the other wheels of the zodiac and the yin yang. It's going to be a while until you can turn that DNA spiral staircase back up to the higher light, to the pleroma version of things. But you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So I'm not asking you to be heavenly. I'm not asking you to live in a utopia. I'm not asking you to give up your shadow government or your cult or your whatever. I don't give a fuck. They all have a purpose. Stop involving me in it. I'm not here to open a YouTube channel to be the best tarot reader in the world on Oracle. I don't really give a flying fudge what anybody's doing in the political scene. I don't care what you're doing in your mafia, gang, fam scene. I don't care what you're doing in your Illuminati bullshit. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. And I don't even remember or know how any of this is involved in my life. I just relay the messages. Okay? So, like, what am I supposed to do? In this awkward life experience I'm being forced to live, and every avenue I'm trying to go to, someone somewhere has something to tell me about what I'm doing or what I'm not doing or where I'm going. It's like, you're not in your lane if you're busy with what I'm doing. Because if I'm picking up on your energies, it's because you're in my lane. I'm just here relaying messages. But I'm also noticing how some of those messages are like a spotlight on people that don't want it. So I have to also change how I'm doing things because it is not my place. It is not my place. I don't care what you're doing. So please be aware of the energy you bring in when you're watching this channel. Just neutral, diplomatic, because what I was shown is that I'm riding the middle line of the yin yang, and that's where I'm supposed to be. And that's why a lot of you think I'm in your lane. I'm not. I'm not in anybody's lane. That's the fucked up part. It's taken me all these years to realize I don't have a lane. I can see both how every realm of the archons, their gods can be seen as good. And I can see how in the realm of the Aeons, their Aeons can be seen as absolutely cold hearted, harsh, merciless beings. Celeste A, the truth is not a crime. Wisdom is not graceful and peaceful. Wisdom comes from suffering. But on the higher realms of the pleroma, wisdom is learned through unity, through life experiences that are tickled with certain kinds of suffering, like breaking a nail. The fruits didn't grow too well on the tree. The weeds are overgrown. It's just kind of like tedious labor and chores and things like that. There's no war. There's no family. There's no stuff like that. It's all a balance of elements of harmony being maintained naturally through day-to-day life. You guys don't really know how to live like that, Doctor. But I do. But if I tell you how to live like that here, you see how that screws things up. If I show you, you see how some would think I'm being a certain way. If I do nothing, you see how I become an enemy. Because I hold a key and a way to being that I can't show either of you because none of you want to listen because you're busy fighting illusions. So I'm kind of in a tough spot as a person and as a messenger or whatever, an oracle, a high priestess, or whatever you call me. I'm just me. And if I'm going to be asked to constantly do this YouTube thing, y'all got to be nicer. And we need to work together because I'm really tired of feeling what people feel about me and still watch this channel because it's interfering with what I'm trying to do. And some of you are like, oh, well, why don't you just learn how to block those energies? Because I love you. And if I block those energies, I can't see how you're hurting to help you. So you're throwing pain at me as if I'm the cause of it, and I'm not. So please have some respect. What you feel about me is actually about yourself. It has nothing to do with me. Because when I'm channeling those videos and those readings, and I'm doing the card readings, just like when I did one for Jane and she lost her fucking mind. Like I did a card reading for a YouTuber and she went bonkers because she thought I was scolding her and yelling at her and everything. And the entire video, I'm like, this is your energy. I'm channeling your energy. The entire video, every other word I was telling her, this is your energy. I'm channeling your energy. She lost her fucking mind. For years, she's been like sending her flying monkeys to attack me and like doing all sorts of weird shit. Because she can't comprehend that that was her energy flipping those cards for her. That's how I do things. I've shown you this for 5 years. Like, I don't work with just your light. I don't work with just your shadow. I show you what you don't want to see. Now I have to do things differently because I'm trying to be more respectful of you guys. But if you guys are constantly going to be disrespectful of yourselves, each other's personal lives in that way, where you're just blurting out each other's laundry all over the world, causing like global cliques within each other, where you're just forming groups and like picking on people and you're doing stuff like that, I can't morally sit by and watch it happen and do nothing. But I also can't stop. So this is what I'm doing. Can you please have more respect for yourselves and others in the world and the energy you bring to places and the energy you walk on the earth with? Because the elements of the earth are responding to your vibrations. The Aeons, the archons are feeding off your vibrations, and your dreams, reality, and day to day experiences have been affected by those vibrations that you're feeding and those entities that are constantly in your life. Some are tricksters pretending to help you, and you guys don't see it lucidly, but you guys know about it. You guys pick up on it when you're in these videos. And some of you think it's like, but I'm the problem, or that other light workers are the problem, or that other shadow workers are the problem. No, problem is the light that is you, whoever you people are, and what you're choosing, and the lack of awareness to cause and effect. It's like throwing a boomerang and then forgetting you threw it, and then it flops in your head, and you're like, oh no, that tree just hit me with a boomerang. Fuck that tree up. Like, no, it wasn't the tree's fault. You threw the boomerang. It's kind of like the stuff that's been said through me on this channel and how some people feel about me. I have no recollection of it, but at the same time, it was said through me. When people feel a certain way about me, there's nothing I can do about it. Because in a way, they experienced what they experienced. I can't take that away. But I've also experienced what I've experienced, and I can't take that away from me either. It's there in multiple different layers and versions. Hour and a half. Oh my God, I'm gonna go. Just please take a step back from who you think you are and look at the grand big picture of life. If you're a light worker, stop trying to end suffering. Create your heaven on earth in your area so that others can see. You know, don't try to get rid of the. Just become a sanctuary wherever you are, whether you're in the light or the dark. And if you can't do that, go find a sanctuary that's based in your vibratory match. If you're in a vibratory match that you don't want to be in, evolve. But you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be, just like me and this stuff. Is YouTube a career I want to have? No. It's just like a blog where I'm just talking to you and sometimes I just flip cards and stuff. And somehow it's become so discombobulated over the years. And I don't like it. So I don't know. I know that I'm probably making videos, but I love cards. I love the artwork. I love the guidance. I love sharing wisdom with you. But I cannot lie about what I see. And I cannot keep beating around the bush around certain energies I feel because it's making other people think I'm talking about them. Like there's 5 people in real life and on the internet that I know that are named Amber. A message had come through a while ago regarding someone named Amber doing shady shit. A few days after that, one of those Ambers that was doing the shady shit showed up on my newsfeed, and I was like, that's the one. Someone I hadn't seen in like 5 years. But the entire time, I'm subscribed to a channel that has someone named Amber, and she's amazing. And I didn't even think like because I don't read my own posts, I don't read the videos, I don't watch the videos. And then I saw it when I went to the community post, and I'm like, let me see what's going on. And it was someone named Amber being mentioned. I'm like, oh my God, I hope she doesn't think I'm talking about her. So I can't do things that way. I can't keep getting these messages and just dealing with the stuff with you guys. If I'm gonna pick up something, I'm gonna call it out from now on. Like with the name and whatever. It's not for clout. It's not for attacking you personally. It's to literally like this is the energy I'm picking up from this person. Because I can't just generalize it anymore. It's too specific. So if you're gonna be like imposing on my energy field in that way during readings, you're gonna get called out, okay? It's nothing personal. It's just other people think I'm talking about them and I'm not. And usually I'm not even talking about those people until they're like in my field and I'm like, what the fuck? You know? So just be careful. There's a lot of stuff. The world is darker than it seems, and I don't want to be involved in it. And I don't want miscomprehensions. This YouTube channel was never tried to, I never tried to be kind of a Like for years, I've even tried to get monetized so I can create content like zodiac sign readings regularly, just do that. And I'm not even allowed to do that. So I'm just not even like this isn't even a career to me. This is just me trying to help, and I have to change it. I have to change how I help because you guys aren't hearing me. You're hearing who you think I am. So again, take a step back from who you think you are. Talk to each other more authentically. Put the battle to the side for just a minute and recognize which side you're fighting for, what it is you're fighting for, what the intent of your YouTube platform, your social media platform actually is, no matter who you are. If you're a celebrity, what is the point of you making movies? Why do you do it? Why do you write books? Why are you a children's doctor or teacher? Why? Why is it that you specifically want to be doing that one thing? You know? And the people you guys have problems with, there's so many people who like resort to death magic. And I didn't even think like I still don't think any of that stuff's real. Like it's because it's mind boggling to me. It's 2023 and people still deal with that like with that. How primitive. So this video has gone on too long and I don't really even think anybody's gonna give a fuck to watch it. So I'm gonna go. Just please. I've been through enough. And my entire life, it's been really difficult to even find a place I can call home. And for me to be here every day in the same room, in the same apartment, in the same city, in the same dream, in the same thing, over and over and over, constantly with the poverty stuff, constantly being told it's my own fault, and then constantly being faced with demons, angels, Aeons, gangsters, stalkers, whatever the fuck else. I'm so tired of not seeing the goodness of the world or its children being shown to me. Even in the slightest bit of someone giving me a fucking cupcake. Nothing. Like, I get nothing. And then people have these opinions about me. Well, you know what? I've learned something over the recent 24 hours regarding my inner child, my masculine side, and my feminine side. I'm tired of people beating every version of me up. And then people doing shady shit to me thinking it's helping me grow. And then me being resilient enough to get through it. And then they're like, yeah, we did it. Like, I had no choice but to live because I love life. So what's your problem? A whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of stuff. When I was thinking about my inner child and all the stuff that's been going on in the world, I saw everyone else as their inner child. And we were all playing on a planet. I'd rather keep that than what I was shown in regards to what the adults are doing to each other. I get that you guys have a dark way of doing things and a light way of doing things. And I'm telling you, there's an in between way of doing things that you don't have to do. But if you just stay in your lane more, the light and the dark, instead of trying to fight each other to eliminate each other, we can find a little bit of peace. I promise. Just notice it in your day. Go through your day, and every time you want to do anything, from making coffee to taking a dump to taking a shower to cleaning your house, the basics is what I'm talking about, you guys. Remember, my perception of reality, not when I'm channeling, when I'm actually just Billy in front of you talking to you, or Sophie, whatever you want to call me. It's so weird, man. It's so weird, okay? We would probably end up giggling and laughing and talking and like going out for walks, smoking a joint, having a beer, going playing pool somewhere, going to a nightclub or a library the next day. I don't fucking know. Like, but here, you don't know me. This isn't me. This is a foreign language I'm speaking to you now in a camera where I have to vocalize things to nobody other than my own image, assuming it gets to other people in the way I recorded it. And then all you see is what you're seeing and hearing and assuming within yourself. But if you're in front of me, it's totally different. If you're talking to me, it's totally different. If I'm walking past you, it's totally different. If you see me at a store, it's totally different. Why? Because I'm a fucking hermit. I live alone. No one's loved me. No one takes care of me. No one provides for me. I'm alone 24/7. People make up shit about me, and all I do every day is stay at home by myself and wonder why I exist. And I just take care of myself every day. And people are like, oh, you're so strong, you show this, you show that. I'm like, this is my life. What do you mean? I don't think I could even name like 15 different fruits I've eaten in this lifetime, or 10 different fruits. I mean, really. So it's like, I don't know. I'm new here, but at the same time, I've been here for 42 years and I still don't comprehend any of it because I've died so many times. And throughout all of it, I'm like right back at the beginning. And I'm just like, this is still going on. So please tell me this video has not been a waste of your time. Please let me know that there's something you're coming to peace with within yourself, whether you are in the dark or in the light. I don't care what either of you are doing. I've been seeing things in such a skewed way that I couldn't see which one's light or dark. And when I zoom back out from it even more, it's not even light or dark. It only becomes light and dark when we focus too much on it. There's so much. Like I could sit down and talk to you face to face for hours with this stuff. We could like sit down in a place in the forest somewhere and just talk. I'm not trying to be your friend, and I'm not trying to be your enemy, but I can't help either. And I can't help any of those things happening. So all I'm going to ask you is that you take care of yourself, your inner child, and do what you need to do for you without harming anyone else as much as possible. Because I know in the world we're living in, we can't do everything with love and light. And the shadows aren't the answer to everything either. There has to be a middle ground. And I think I'm supposed to kind of help you maintain that middle ground or to see it. So the way I'm going to be bringing you things is going to be a little different. You know, just do it. Don't tell us. Well, I'm telling you because you're my friend. So things are going to be a little different. And when you come to this space, please be a little more respectful with the energy you bring in. I don't want to keep reading for your shadow. That's your job. But we'll do some weird shadow readings and stuff. The way I read your energies is going to have to be different. And I'm not really going to be spending a lot of time doing these long ass just monologue conversations, assuming you're talking back to me because apparently I'm telepathic. Um, I'd like to do more of those live chat things, but not if you guys are just going to use it as target practice. And if you guys are really ill intended towards me, please go hug your moms and your dads because it has nothing to do with me. And respect the material world and the spiritual world because in the higher realms they're working together to create your foundations that you call society and government. So instead of trying to demolish things and to restructure and deconstruct and whatever, fine tune instead, improve the behavior of individual self instead of trying to undo a system that's giving you the foundations to do all the shady shit you're doing. Remember that energy goes to the entities. You can't, there's no win 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 unless we do this middle ground way where we stop trying to change each other and just elevate each other instead. Okay? I've shown you guys enough over the years regarding your own shadows and how to do and what not to do, both as big me and as little me. And I don't know how to treat this channel as a content creation platform because I don't think I'll ever be unshadow banned. But let me tell you, if it requires me to be more acutely precise and honest regarding the energies I'm picking up in, regardless of how cutting it might be, I'll do what I can to make it more pleasant, but also directed. So if it's a problem or an energy I'm picking up, I'm not going to, sugarcoat it. Just remember, I'm not picking on you. I just can't, like, if I'm picking up on Betty Boop, I can't be like, oh, it's someone with black hair and a red dress. No, I'm picking up Betty Boop energy. Like, that's what it is. It's that person. If you're watching, hello. If you're not, whatever. I can't sideskip it, okay? Because there's a lot of that energy going around the collectives of people on different platforms taking things and being inspired by things, but they're not paying it forward or paying it backwards. And it's causing a lot of that discordant energy in the field, which on the other side of the spectrum is being picked up as theft, plagiarizing, clones, copycats, echoes, etc. That can all be skipped by a simple thing of this is so and so's energy we're picking up on. If it's for you, if it's for you. If it's not, it's not. And then go about your other reading or your other messages, your other life coach things. But when something comes up, either internally acknowledge it or verbally acknowledge it so the energy can move through. Comprende? Because when that thing happens that it stops the communication, it diverts into a negative pathway to go out that way. Because energy is fluid, it needs to go somewhere. I hope you can comprehend this. I'm gonna go because my head is hurting because I am seeing so many movies playing right here. And I'm like, I've been blocking it off as much as I can on this, and it's still been seeping through like that energy of channeling that tapestry. I'm going to go for real now, as you can probably tell because the video has already stopped maybe like a few seconds ahead. I love you. Take care of yourself. I don't care if you're light or dark. Remember, I saw this entire reality and the one above it and the one above it from the point of view of every. I saw it from Source's point of view, and I felt it from a mother's love, a grandmother's love, a daughter's love, a father's love, a son's love, a brother and a sister. Like an entire family drama being played out through Sophia, Yaldabaoth, and the All Father, the Most High. I physically cannot hate you. Isn't that weird? After what I saw, it's like I just can't. I'm incapable of having that feeling rise up more than it does towards like feeling hatred for wet socks. I've even been thinking about somebody I really disliked in my life years ago. A friend I had from when I was like 15 who betrayed me in every single way. And even then, if he was standing in front of me and he's like, hand me that, I'd be like, I don't care. Energy moves, it's fluid. I don't maintain the same energy twice, really, unless there's a reason for it. So I love you. Whether you're a giant tentacle monster or a flappity flap angel being or sparkly, sparkly, whatever. Whether you're gang, fam, fam, yes, sir, agent, whatever, handler, whatever, stalker, creeper, whatever. I can't help it. So be the best you can be, because some of the stuff I've seen, if you guys actually do this thing, like if you spent this time watching this video, you already did it. So if you go and help other people to take a step back from what they really want to fight or what they really want to hurt or what they're hurt by, if you as your professional field, whatever, can help other people do that thing that we did in this video together, hopefully, those seeds will reverberate in a way where, think of it like this way from the it was in that double slit experiment. So you're viewing something right now and it's been keeping you at a vibration, a steady point where you're kind of inquisitive, where you're whatever, and this me being just me here, kind of, it's been different, right? Try to find that and create that space and hold it for your people, good or bad. That way they're not lost in their own thoughts. Be the clarity or help them hold clarity. Don't tell them what it is, but I don't know. I don't know. My head hurts. I'm gonna go yet again. I love you. Take care of yourself. Um, oh, right. If you click the like button, then you like being a better version of yourself. If you click the dislike button, then you don't like yourself. If you subscribe, then you want to make me do more work, which I don't want to do. So don't subscribe. If you unsubscribe, you really like me and you want me to have more peace and quiet in my life. And sorry, I'm tearing my table apart. These little straps were annoying me here. Just unsubscribe. Go away. Becca, you can stay. I love you guys. Have a good day and stuff. And whatever. It's all energy. It's all vibration. It's all something. Hopefully, this is helping you establish a better sense of you, so that even the entities and the Aeons and the Archons can kind of chill the fuck out, because they're all trying to survive. Everyone's just trying to survive in this part of the wheel. So just do what you can. I gotta go. He's biting these wires again.